All right, so that wraps up the Intel 8080 processor, which was an 8-bit processor, their first one that was came to the mass market. And after that, they had the Intel 8086, which was released between early 1976 and June 8th, 1978. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the podcast I'm now calling Bits and Bytes. I figured I would go with a more something more in my wheelhouse, since now it's just me. You may remember last week I told you guys that unfortunately Dan couldn't do the podcast anymore. It was just taking too much time, and he kind of had to trek out here over to my place. So I figured, you know what, now it's just me. I'll take something more in my wheelhouse, so I figured I would go with computer science, or maybe just like generally speaking about technology. I'm not exactly sure how I want the format to work. I was thinking, you know, I'd still kind of want to be like a little bit general, because I could just picture my mom listening. She's like, "What the hell's JavaScript?" Right? So I thought I'd go with more of a broad mass audience type of approach. So I figured the first topic I'd tackle on the new Bits and Bytes would be about Apple recently canceled their Airpower wireless charging mat. Right? So they revealed this a couple weeks ago. Or no, they revealed this a couple years ago. And Apple's usually really good about making sure.
Are you done?
What?
Are you done now?
You don't want to hear about the Airpower?
No.
Charger mat?
No.
All right, let's kick it back to the ScruffCast.
Yeah, we're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 49 of the ScruffCast. I'm John.
And I'm Dan.
And we're back again with another hit podcast, like we are week in and week out, except for our 4-month hiatus.
Except for those 4 months we were away.
Except for the 4 months where we didn't.
But besides
other than that, and except for the couple of times where we just missed a week because we're just like, oh, we're going on a trip, see you guys.
Yeah,
and
pretty
we're
much.
Just like, oh, yeah, we're tired this week. I can't remember. There's reasons we missed them.
Yeah, I can't remember there was. Wait, no, we didn't do any because we were on vacation.
Yeah, we skipped one. I went on vacation after.
The golf trip, we skipped one.
Oh, the golf trip we skipped.
Forest golf trip. Which, you know what, we're going to do again this year.
Yep. So I had an idea last year, which was we could have brought our microphones and did a little 5-minute clip with everybody, and then all stitched it together. But the people who don't know the people who go on a trip with us are going to be like, who are these jabronis?
Yeah, and so we want to be hanging out and drinking and not having to worry about doing this.
Yeah. Slaving away for the listeners. Yeah. Shaking my head.
Yeah, we would have been done after episode 10 if there wasn't 5 people who were actually invested in this besides us.
Episode 10 was a stinky one.
It was. I just chose a random number, but that one was.
That was a stinky one.
We've had
a few. We had a few stinky ones. The Dud.
Hey, Beethoven didn't make. Not every song was a masterpiece.
Even Wayne Gretzky hit the post sometimes.
Yeah. So.
There you go.
Whatever. Here's what it is.
All right. Shall we kick it off like we normally kick it off?
Sure.
With the question to ponder.
The question to ponder.
So last week, we left with a question to ponder. What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical? Daniel?
My answer is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good choice.
I thought so, too. It probably wouldn't make the movie better at all, but it would make it funnier.
Those movies are already pretty long. Would they be even longer? Or would they be shorter?
No, it'd be the same thing, but everything would be song. It would be like a true musical.
Oh.
Not just with musical numbers.
Okay.
It would be like what's that one movie? The French one. Loud and Miserable.
Les Miserables.
That one. It'd be like that, because I think they sing through the whole thing in that movie. So that would be like this.
Okay.
Like Frodo, we must take the ring to the fire.
Oh, geez, dude. A musical that long, though?
Yeah.
True musical?
It'd be like a 9-hour musical or a 10-hour musical, because it's 3 movies, right?
Yeah, that'd be rough.
I'm in. I'd watch.
All right.
I'm a big fan of musicals.
I'm not a super fan. I feel like it really depends on the subject matter, right? Because I've seen Book of Mormon,
yes,
right, which is like hilarious, it's awesome. But I've also, as a kid,
and we saw Jersey Boys,
which was awesome as well, on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as a kid, whenever you'd watch like a Disney movie, not to get back into the Disney topic, but those are just the ones that came to my mind.
Yeah.
When you'd watch, like the animated movies and they have like a musical number, like first one coming to my head is like Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Right? They're singing the songs. You're like, just get back to the regular stuff.
Really, I always liked those.
Which kind of, I guess, gave me this attitude towards musicals now.
You know what? It was for me like when I was young, maybe 4 or 5, and I watched Grease for the first time.
Okay.
And that's all I wanted to do was watch that movie. I loved Grease. I still like it. It's still one of my favorite movies.
I've only seen it a few times over the years. I feel like I don't really...
It's awesome.
I could take it or leave it.
I like it a lot. And then the most recent one I like is The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman, which I've seen half of that movie, which was at your place.
Of course.
And then it was like, all right, it's getting late. Get out of my house.
Yeah, I probably did that.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the half that I saw. So for me, because I feel like as a kid anyway, the musicals were kind of like, right? But now that I'm older, I have enjoyed some musicals, namely Book of Mormon, which is really good, from the creators of South Park, which I recommend if anybody is into musicals. Or
if you have $500 to spare, check out the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, if it was expensive, but it wasn't $500.
It's because I wanted to see it again. I also saw it. I wanted to see it a second time, but tickets were like $250 each. I can't justify spending that much money to see it a second time. Well,
I think when I went with my girlfriend Taryn, it was like maybe $80 each, but we got them like well ahead of time.
I think at the time we paid like $140 or something like that each.
Oosh.
Yeah,
but it's good though.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I think that the fact that I actually not only was I like, oh, okay, musical, but I ended up coming away from it enjoying it, made me think, okay, the subject matter is what's important. So I tried to come up with a choice that would like easily convert into a musical. So my thought was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Okay.
Right? Because it's not going to be a true musical, but it's perfect because you can have the big musical numbers for every time he's got to battle the ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, okay.
So perfectly segments.
Yeah.
Right? So for anybody out there who's like, what the hell is that? It was a movie. Came out...
2008? 9?
That long ago?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It makes me feel old. I remember seeing that in movie theaters.
Yeah, so did I.
We might have seen it together. Who knows?
Yeah,
but basically, it's about a guy who has to like battle all of his girlfriend's like evil ex-boyfriends. There's like 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time. I don't remember everything about it. But Michael Cera's in it. That's all I remember. But I thought that would make a...
He's from Brampton.
He is from Brampton.
Yeah.
He is. Represent Brampton. Just saying. So that's my choice. So we did have a listener write in, Dan.
We did.
Would you like me to read the email?
Yeah, you can if you'd like.
Why not? So the listener wrote in to ScruffCast@gmail.com, where you can write in all your inquiries. Questions, comments, thoughts, concerns. Just heap praise on us. Easy peasy, whatever. So, as always, I read the subject line, which was Babbling Works. Hey, Jonathan and Daniel. Getting formal.
You know what? Yeah, I also thought that.
I really enjoy this version of the podcast rather than the articles. It is a lot more entertaining. For me, at least. They say, I don't have an answer for the question to ponder, but they did provide us with with their own question, which we'll save for the end of the podcast.
Yeah, we're going to use that as our question.
But they just wanted to write in, kind of touching on the topics we talked about last week. Because we always say, hey, listeners, write in, tell us what you thought. This listener, coming in the clutch.
Yep.
Telling us what they thought. You guys were talking about African lion safari and the zoo. I personally would not go again and would not take my future children. In the winters, the animals are kept outside, whether they are made for that type of weather or not. And they do sedate the lions and some of the other animals so they do not attack or become overly active while people are going through the park. Interesting. I didn't know this.
I didn't know that either.
Now, of course, there's no links to facts or anything.
No.
But we don't do that on the ScruffCast.
No.
So I'm just going to believe this is 100% true. Oh, the listener also signed the email. Keep babbling. P.S. Daniel, Disney is great and magical.
I couldn't agree more. Which a Disney debate will be held at a future date.
Yep. We'll get that one listener who wrote in. That was on my side.
I'll take you both on. Maybe we'll bring this listener in too.
Ooh, a 4-way debate.
We would need another mic.
A debate. It'd be like a
God,
team.
we only have 3.
Right, we could just have them call in and then put the 2 phones next to each other and they're just shouting over each other.
Oh, that's true too. That could be entertaining.
Yeah.
So would you ever take any future children to the zoo or African Lion Safari?
Yeah. They have penguins at the zoo.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go to Antarctica. Where are my kids going to see penguins?
I'm not going to go to Africa to let them see lions.
No, that's true. I'd rather see penguins than lions, though.
I would rather see lions.
No, I do top 3 like favorite animals. Penguins are in there.
I had a penguin Halloween costume once.
You told the story, I think, on the very first or second episode of the podcast.
Well, how about that?
About your penguin onesie.
Bringing it all back almost 50 episodes later.
Yeah. Oh, man. Can't believe next week's going to be 50 episodes. We could have been there 3 months ago if we didn't take our hiatus.
When did we start doing this?
I believe the first ever episodes were posted in December. We recorded in October.
December 2017.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We posted the first 3 to get, just whet your appetite, if you will, for the listeners.
Yeah.
And then we kicked it off with a more formal, like, week-to-week episode structure, I think January of last year. But we did officially post in December. Yes, because the first 3 episodes I remember. First one was just random stuff we talked about. Second one was about Halloween. That must have been when you told your penguin costume story.
Yeah, must have
been. The third one was about the crazy Buffalo Bills fans.
Oh, yeah.
Went to the Buffalo Bills game.
Wow. So you would bring your future children to the zoo?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, so would I. Seems like this person is very anti-caged animals.
Fair enough.
Probably a vegan, whoever this is.
Probably. They seem like the type. I don't mean to each their own. If you want to miss out on eating bacon, I mean, suit yourself. But it's delicious.
Agreed.
I just feel like penguins would be like a cool pet if you could keep a pet penguin,
Oh, didn't you say something about your top 3 animals? Your top 3?
Oh, yeah.
You were saying you're in the middle of saying something.
I was saying I think penguins would be in like top 3, my favorite animals. They're so cool.
Penguin. Yeah, they're pretty cool. But a lot, I'm way more excited.
It depends on like how you rank the top 3, right? Like top 3 what? Like I'm thinking of an animal I want I could like keep as a pet or something. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I couldn't keep a lion as a pet unless I lived in Texas.
Yeah. You could.
Yeah. It's legal. Apparently there's more tigers in Texas than there is in like the rest of the world.
I've heard this in like private collections. I think we've talked about this on the podcast as well.
Man.
Because we talked about
Here we go again.
Those people who were they homeless people or were they?
Yeah, they found that. Okay, we're not gonna talk about it again.
But anyway,
talked about it once. You want to hear it again? Go listen.
You can go back and listen to whatever episode it was. But the listeners, they say babbling works. We call it rambling. They called it babbling.
Babbling sounds a little more sophisticated.
A little. Daniel, would you care to babble?
We're going to babble. I was gonna say something I forgot.
Shaking my head.
Yeah. To wrap it up, I would take my kids
to
the zoo, just once.
And as we did say, the listener did write in a great question to ponder, which we'll
save for the end.
Save for the end.
That's right.
So thank you, listener. And remember, you can write into scruffcast@gmail.com with your questions and comments and thoughts. Maybe you have an article you want us to read. We've kind of moved away from reading articles, but if you find a good one, we'll read it.
We're still open to it.
Yeah. We got nothing against it.
So, John, what time is it right now? It is almost midnight.
Oh, my goodness. It is.
We've been doing this for 7 weeks now.
Yes.
7 painful weeks.
Well, 7 weeks of recording late.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes.
Because the listeners might not understand what we're talking about.
Right. And I don't even think we've mentioned why.
No.
So, I'm getting married in the summer, and I had to go for those marriage classes.
Sounds like a fun time.
It wasn't. It was just it was 7 weeks, and it's from 8 to 10. So then after that, I would come here to John's. We record this thing super late. It sucks. I'm just happy that's over. I'm just so excited that class over that I had to mention it on the podcast.
Fair enough.
That was it.
Like a little shout out.
Yeah. It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
That's pretty rough.
All of that.
But
I have enough stuff in there, like enough just crazy things that they told us in that thing that I could start another podcast just based off that.
your 7 a week like undercover sting operation.
Yeah, I know.
Blowing the lid on the Catholic Church.
They're all wild. I'm just blessed. That's over.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag
But starting
blessed.
next week, now that we'll record at more of a decent time, we've actually been in the midst of building a podcast studio here.
We've made jokes about this before, like, oh yeah, we're changing studios. No, like it's never been a studio before, but now it's like a little bit more of a legit studio. We have a table, and not just like a kitchen table or a coffee table. We have a studio table now.
Studio table I put together with my bare hands, imported from Sweden.
Yes. We're gonna have some computer chairs around it.
Yep.
And then this way we'll also be able to put these videos on YouTube. We'll like videotape ourselves.
Yeah,
as
maybe
well.
one day. If
Maybe episode 100.
if we're popular enough. Yeah, you know what, episode
If we get more
100.
than 7 goddamn views on our YouTube page.
And you know
if
what?
we make it to double digits, we'll consider it.
We've had the rare episode hit double digits,
Really?
but not consistently.
We need
Right.
we need
And-
5 in a row. 5 in a row.
And you know what? We need the thumb up. I see you guys listen. I can see the analytics. Why don't you just click that thumb up? Come on. Come on.
Give us a thumbs up.
Shaking my head.
All right, John, you have a story about your Netflix list.
Yeah, so I was actually in the middle of I was about to tell Dan this story last week before we did the podcast, but then we got sidetracked. And I believe I said, "Did I tell you the story about my Netflix list?" You said no, and then we talked about something else and never came back to it. So then I remembered, and I thought, why don't I tell us on the podcast?
All right.
So I'm going to put my lovely girlfriend Taryn just on blast on the podcast, and she won't hear this for a while because she pretty much never listens. I'll know.
So you can
I'll
say
know if
whatever
she
you
does.
want.
I could, but I'm just going to stick to the story.
Okay. Fair enough, yeah.
So this was maybe 4 weeks ago. She was over at my house. We're sitting on the couch, gonna, watch something on Netflix. So my TV has Netflix built in, smart TV. Pick up the remote, turn the TV on, and I notice, that's strange. My profile is like not in the regular spot. It's out of order, right?
Okay.
So it's like it's got my mom's, mine. Taryn has one on there. My brother. I think my sister has one on there.
What do you pay? $50 a month for your Netflix?
I pay nothing.
Got
My
so
mom
many
pays
people
it.
using it.
I'm freeloading.
Ha 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 ha. Okay.
Well, you think that's bad? Taryn's freeloading one level off because she's freeloading off my Netflix, which is
Your mom's
my
Netflix.
mom's, and she's even got her own profile on
Yeah,
there.
my parents freeload off my Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, aren't you distinguished?
I am.
Well, no, I made her make her own profile because she used to watch stuff on mine, and then it's like messing up my recommendations.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told my parents to do. They keep using mine, and then
Just
okay,
make your own.
because my fiance always puts the subtitles on when she's watching movies.
Yeah.
And my dad was always like, "Oh, Anna's always putting the subtitles on." You know what I mean? Like she's always putting them on. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. She likes them on." So it came to the conclusion, like, just change. Just make a new little profile, and then you won't have to worry about the subtitles.
Yeah, it's free and it's easy, and then we'll keep track of your recommendations. You can have
Yeah,
like
he
a
just
list
says
of
no.
stuff.
No, I'll just keep turning them off.
Your dad would be like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in profiles.
I don't believe in separate profiles.
So I brought up the list of the profiles there, and I thought, oh, mine's not in the normal spots, like they're out of order. That's strange. Okay, so I click on it, and I'm talking with Taryn, and I'm like, well, what do you want to watch? Oh, I don't know. What do you feel like watching? Right? And you know how it is. Women always make you pick, right? So it's like, okay,
Women, right?
women, shaking my head. So I'm like, well, so what she does, she tries to like pick the genre, so then I have to pick the actual movie or show or whatever, right?
Right.
You know, the hard part. She's like, I want to watch a comedy, I want to watch this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. Why don't I look at my list and see what's on
movies
there?
you've saved,
Dude,
yeah.
because I have so many things saved random, like, oh, wow, a documentary about volcanoes? Oh, I got to watch this.
Yeah, eventually. And you put it off to the side, yeah.
Eventually, right? So I'm going and I'm, scrolling and I'm looking for my list. And normally it's right at the top. It's like one of the first sections. I'm like, where's my list? Keep in mind, my profile was not in the proper spot in the beginning either. So I'm like, where's my list? This doesn't make sense. So I'm, scrolling. I go all the way through all the categories. My list wasn't one of the categories. It was like, oh, that's weird. Then there's like a sub menu on the side you can go onto. So I went on that, and then it says list, and I click it, and my list is empty. And I'm like, what the hell happened to my list? And then I look over at my girlfriend, and she just has this look on her face, and she's like, oh no, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what the hell happened?
Okay.
She tried to prank me, okay? So she went on Netflix, went into my profile, and tried to change the language to Japanese, okay? Thinking that when I go to use mine, here it will be in Japanese. I don't know if it works that way or not. My guess is probably not. But
Right.
Thinking, all right, I'll put his in Japanese, right? So she put it in Japanese, but it changed everything to Japanese. And she panicked and was like, oh no, I don't know how to change it back into English now.
Oh my God.
And accidentally deleted my account, my profile.
Oh.
So then she recreated it with the same name and the same picture, and which is why it was out of order.
Oh,
Okay.
The one misstep,
The one misstep. And you know
She
what?
put it out of
She
order.
got lucky. I hadn't used Netflix for like a week because she said it happened a week prior. And she's like panicking.
Right.
And her mom's just laughing at her like, well, that's what you get for trying to, prank him, put in Japanese. So then she was just like waiting for me to finally be like, what the heck? And then I hadn't used it until she came over.
So she was right there.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, why don't I check my list? And she was all like, So I was pretty salty. I just saw yesterday, I was still like, I can't believe you deleted my list. It makes me so mad. And like all passive aggressive, like looking through, like she was here, I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So my list has like long been deleted and I'm slowly building it back up. And I'm like, oh, this is a great movie. Oh, I got to go thumb that up again because it used to be thumbed up on my profile.
Like,
So that kind of made me mad.
Anna's got this thing right now where she likes to change my picture on my profile.
Yeah.
Like, we share the same account or whatever, right? So I didn't even know how to change it before. So it's just like a little, the stock one, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then I went on there one day, and it's like this like crazy looking black guy or a black girl, I think, from one of the Netflix shows. It's like, what the hell is this, right? And now it's like this old Chinese man. That's my new Netflix logo right now.
Mine's an anime guy.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I've never used that list before. Never.
Oh, you never add anything to it?
No, I never did. It's like a good thing to do, but
It's a good way to keep track of stuff.
I have a hard time committing to like TV shows.
Yeah.
Do you, like, I don't know, maybe we've talked about this before, but like I have a hard time like committing, like, because once I watch something, I watch an episode or two, I get into it. It's like I need to watch this all the way through. And if it's got like 8 seasons, I'm like, that's a big commitment of your life.
Yeah.
Like 8 40, 50-minute episodes, or 8 seasons of 40, 50-minute episodes.
Yeah.
That's a large commitment. This is like, okay, this is gonna be the next like 4 or 5 months of my life that I'm gonna be watching this show, and I have a hard time like committing to that. So I have such a hard time committing that I have a hard time committing to the list even. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to put that on the list because that's almost too much of a commitment as it is.
Oh no, I have way too many. I used to have way too many things on my list. Anything I'd come across. Oh, it's only got like 20%, but I mean, come on, it's about some guys who rob a drug cartel. This has got to be good.
Looks like it could be good.
Yeah.
My dad said it was great.
Like, what is it with dads and watching those just like generic action movies?
Oh,
like,
I know.
Like my dad was here. This was a couple months ago, and I don't know. I was in the kitchen doing something or whatever. I come over to the living room, and he's like, "Oh yeah, have you seen this? Oh, it's a great movie." And it's like Escape Plan 2, like 10% approved by critics, or just these generic junky.
But yeah,
action movies,
but it's so good,
right?
Yeah,
and, dude, the best is my grandfather. Like that Arnold Schwarzenegger's in a movie. Oh, Arnold. Oh yeah, he's the best. Right? Oh, so strong. Or like Jackie Chan. Oh, Jackie. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents just started using Netflix like a couple of years ago. I finally got them into it, and now like I can't get my dad away from it. It's not as bad anymore, but like at first, like he would just watch everything on there, and he's got trouble sleeping too. So like he'll go to bed at like 10, and then he'll like wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and like can't sleep. So he goes on the couch and like watches a full movie in the middle of the night. Like, watches a full movie. It's like one of these like Bruce Willis straight to DVD movies. You know what
like
I mean?
action gardener. Yeah. Right. He's like a gardener who would like the
yeah,
government's
it's like,
messing with him.
It's either Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, Tom Cruise. I know I can't handle Tom Cruise because he's not on that level yet. But you know,
I know what you mean.
yeah, well, one of the usual suspects.
Just the
John Travolta, maybe. You know.
Yeah, just the generic sort of like action type movie where like
Yeah.
it doesn't even
Old
matter
action
what,
stars.
Yeah,
Like,
it
that's
doesn't
what
even
it is.
matter what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're out for one last ride.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
Anything
type
with
things.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
So I watched this Liam Neeson movie. Oh, what happened? Was it the one where he's on the train or the plane or in the car?
Was it when he got mad and had to go hunt some people down?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, you got to think. If you're into that stuff, Netflix is just a treasure trove of stuff.
It's true. And the nice thing about it too is you can throw it on for 20 minutes and be like, yeah, this sucks. And just turn it off. And it's like,
Yeah, you don't have to waste your time.
yeah,
right?
no big deal.
Just
Yeah.
get out of my life.
You just move on to something else. So it's like, it's not that bad even watching those. Like, those movies can be entertaining. They still can.
It's like
A good action movie
it's like
is entertaining regardless.
It's like junk food in movie form, right?
yeah, exactly.
You don't expect too much.
Delicious.
There you go.
Yeah. Delicious movies.
All right. Shall we move on to more
Anything
babbling?
else?
Anything else?
I actually have something I was thinking about on my way over here because a situation happened to me as I was leaving the church to come over here. So you know when you're walking out of like a building or whatever, it was something that's got like a door that like swings open, and like you're gonna be polite, so you hold the door open for people, right?
As Canadians are.
Yeah. So someone's coming behind you. Oh, let me hold the door open for them. What is the distance that you stop holding the door open for someone? Because I was at the church, and I would consider myself a pretty polite person.
Sure.
And so I was coming down, like, kind of came down the stairs and to the door. So my fiance was in front of me, so she went. So I looked back, and there were maybe like 25 to 30 feet behind me, and I held the door.
Oh no.
I know, and it was like too far, and I was like, ah, man. But like, I felt bad not holding it.
Did you make eye contact with them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't even make eye contact with them. It was like kind of dark too. They couldn't even see. Like, I was never going to see these people ever again either.
Yeah, this was your last week of the church.
That's
thing,
right.
too.
But like, there's a
Perfect
part of me that
opportunity.
like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't want to be a douche. Like, I want to be the guy that holds that door open because I don't like people who don't do that. But at the same time, as I'm standing there holding the door, I was like, this is pushing it. This is a little too far, I think. Like,
if you hold the door open or someone's holding it open for you, and you're kind of too far away, you feel that pressure to speed up.
you feel like you got to run.
You feel like you got to speed up. Oh, this person's holding the door open for me.
Well, I never thought of it that way.
Right?
So you're also putting the pressure on them. So it's like it doesn't work for anybody. You have to stand there, hold the door, and they feel pressured to walk through faster.
Well, if they're within, 5 feet or something, they just keep their normal pace. I feel like it's not so much the distance as it is the speed, right? Because if you got an old lady with a cane,
Yeah.
well, if the old lady's got a cane,
Well, you're holding
gotta
it open
hold the
for
door
her
open.
no matter what.
But
yeah.
like the threshold is like for the distance is a lot lower because if she's like past 10 feet, you'll be home by the time she gets to the door. You know what I mean?
You just press the little wheel, the handicap button, and keep moving.
Come on, Betty. Hope you make it through in time.
Yeah. Because I was kind of thinking about that, and I acknowledge at that point I was like, this is way too far. I'm way too far away. I shouldn't be holding this door open.
I feel like it depends on my mood as well.
Yeah.
Nothing gets me more mad than when I hold the door open and somebody doesn't say thanks.
Oh, I know. I want to yell at them like, "You're welcome." You know.
Oh,
real
dude,
sassy.
I told you how I've gotten to the level where I like shake my head at the people
Yeah.
who's staying in the way. Like for the listeners, Dan was just doing an impression of me shaking my head with a
Shaking my
pouty
head.
lip as well, which is 100% accurate when
Yeah.
this happens. But what was I saying? Oh, I'm at the level where I'm shaking my head. But I've also gotten to the level where like I'll do the "you're welcome."
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there a few times for sure.
But you know what? I do have to say, on the other hand, I was getting off the subway.
Because you know what?
right?
What am I, the door holder open? Like, am I getting paid to stand here open the door for you, princess? You know?
Well, I got to say, I had the opposite experience, actually.
I want to, like, just crush it on them when I'm done. Like, you know what I mean? As they're walking through, they don't say it. Poof! I want to smash the glass right
Like,
through their
I
forehead.
hope you have a bad day.
Yeah.
Your sandwich got soggy. The Tupperware didn't hold up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll know it was because you didn't say thank you.
It's because you didn't say thank you, you jerk.
So I had the opposite experience. I was getting off the subway to walk to work. The same subway with the single lane escalator I talked about a couple episodes ago. And I thought, let me spruce it up. I'll try and see if I can exit the other way. So I went to go exit the other way, and I'm like, oh, no, I can't exit this way. So I turned around to come back, and I held the door open, and somebody was leaving, and they walked through, and I held the door. It was nice. And they said, thank you very much. And I was like, oh, that was a genuine
You're very
thank you.
welcome.
This person just made my day.
Oh, you know what's funny?
It was like it was actually heartwarming. I was like, I felt like that person was really happy I held the door open.
You know what's funny? So like this kind of relates. But like when you're driving like okay, so like when you're driving, right?
Yeah.
And someone like cuts you off, right? And you're like, you goddamn idiot, right? You're like kind of saying that in your car. And if the guy gives you like the hand, like the hand in the mirror, like, oh, my bad, or like, oh, thanks. Immediately, I'm just like, no worries. Everybody's been there, everybody cuts someone off sometimes, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like instantly, I'm like, oh, no big deal, no worries.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is, right? It's like you're part of the club, you know what it's like.
Exactly. But going back to the door thing, there's like another thing I don't like. So let's say like, okay, let's say 3 people in a row, okay? So it's like, okay, so there's someone in front of us, then it's you, then it's me, okay?
Okay.
So the person in front of us holds the door open. We're walking in a line. You walk through the door. So
Yeah.
you know how there's like the chain of door holding open?
Yeah.
One person passes it off to the next and so on and so forth. So that person thinks they're passing it off to you, but you just squeak through like a jerk and don't hold the door. I don't mean actually you,
Yeah.
but like in this scenario, right? And then I'm like, oh man, I have to like, grab that door before it closes. I hate that person's the worst person in the world.
Because
Like that person's a rat.
you know that they know you're right behind them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is why...
And they're just doing like that, ooh, thanks. And then they just squeak by.
'cause that's exactly what I was going to say. Because you don't just get to squeak through like easy peasy. You got to speed up. You got to make that effort.
Exactly.
Right.
Put your goddamn hand out and hold the door.
Yeah.
We're doing this. It's a line. It could be like 20 people. Like you say, if you're getting like a subway station or something, right?
Yeah.
20 people holding the door. Don't be the guy that squeaks through. Like, don't
nobody
be
wants
that
to be
person.
that guy. You don't want to be the guy like you're waiting for the subway, right? Maybe there's a family ahead of you with a stroller, and you just blow past everybody to get on the subway and get those seats first.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
You gotta have the courtesy.
Yeah, you gotta have the courtesy to let the
can't-
family sit in those seats.
I can't imagine anyone who would do something like that.
And then have the audacity maybe to get upset with the people that they were with because they weren't moving fast enough.
I can only imagine what this experience is like. We're obviously not talking from experience.
Thank goodness. Yeah, but that's like. So what's the distance?
What's the distance?
Is there a distance?
It's a morally gray area. I feel like it's more a matter of time, right? I feel like if you're okay, here's a good rule of thumb. If you're with somebody else,
Yeah.
right, and you're walking, you go through, you hold the door. If you got to hold the door and it takes so long for the person to catch up that the person you were with is like way too far ahead now,
They're like past the second door kind of already?
yeah, then it's too long.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? I'd say like 10 seconds. Well, 10 seconds doesn't sound like a long time.
That's a long time holding the door though.
But it is.
I'm thinking like, okay, you hold the door. 1, 2, okay, there you go. I think that's like a fair amount of time. I think like once you reach like 5 or 8 seconds, that's too much.
I think you're right. Hearing you count out like that made 10 feel like it was too long. And for the listeners, Dan actually held his hand out as if he was miming holding.
See,
open
this
a
is
door.
why we got to do the YouTube video.
Yeah,
Because we do lots of actions as well. We're also kind of actors.
We are. Dare I say, I'm actually very handsome as well. So,
Dare I say, he's actually not.
Well, we'll have to leave it up to the listeners to decide. All right. That was just like a little ScruffCast rule for life, how to live. 5 to 8 seconds maximum for the door.
Maybe, no, you know what I was going to say? Maybe this is a thing we can continue to do, like rules for life, but then that puts too much pressure on us.
It does
I don't
put a
wanna do
little
that.
too much pressure. We still
Like-
feel pressure now with the certain segments we have.
The question to ponder is already too much for us, you know?
I'm not going to lie. I came up with my answer just 5 minutes before the podcast.
It's pretty good. I thought of mine like today while I was at work.
My original thought was maybe like The Dark Knight. That's just because I listened to the soundtrack earlier.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, how would that even be musical? Those movies are already good. It wouldn't be better.
That's true. They're already fantastic. Hey, have we told the listeners?
Told them what?
The ScruffCast has gone international before, but now the ScruffCast is going national. Way less exciting than international, but we are going to New Brunswick.
Oh, yes. We're taking a...
Did you forget? You were looking at me like you didn't know what the hell I was about to say.
Well, no, I was just confused.
Dude, I thought that was pretty good, like the international national joke. I was actually also thinking about that one today, and then it just fell on deaf ears. Like you didn't even care.
No, I left the silence so the listeners could hear it in its full form, appreciate the whole.
And then,
joke.
ooh,
that Dan with that sharp wit, right?
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to New Brunswick.
We're taking a trip out east to visit friend of the show, Anthony.
Yeah, he's been on the show.
Yes.
Twice. Not once, but twice, unfortunately.
He's our guest of highest esteem. He's been on the show
Shouldn't be,
twice.
but he is. He was on here twice because we unfortunately had to have him on here. Like, we couldn't get rid of him.
The first time was a disaster. He's, like, trying to mix us drinks as we're doing the podcast, and you just hear the ice clinking.
So unprofessional.
Like, miming to us. Do you want ice? Do you want some ice in your drink? It's like, just sit down.
Just sit down. We're doing a podcast.
Like, Jesus
We
Christ.
take this very seriously.
And then he was on another time. When he talked about sometimes you got to pepper spray a bitch for a bad haircut.
Pepper spray a bitch, yeah.
But we're also going with another friend of the show. Maybe our only other guest who's ever been on.
Yeah.
Kalon.
Yeah. We'll be traveling with him.
So, Scruff, it's always a joy traveling with him.
Always.
I'm just laughing at Dan laughing. Dude,
Always
if
a
I was
joy.
him listening to this, I'd be salty right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's just sitting there. He's shaking his head, that Kalon shake of his head. Like he's disappointed in us a little bit too.
For listeners out there, it can't be described in words. Even a GIF couldn't show you it in its full power. I fear for one day when that man has kids. I would not want to be the kid that disappointed him. You bring home a bad test.
No, I know.
Don't even think he's putting it on the fridge. He's going to say, why would I put this on my fridge?
He's already got the dad moves too, like the time on the boat. We're not going to go on talking about the time on the boat. But there was a time on a boat, he dadded us real hard, and that's all we're going to talk about.
It was one of those, like, I'm going to turn this thing around.
It was one of those, yeah. Good times. How did we get into this? We just normally we subliminally just kind of like throw jabs at him, but this time we're just full force.
Yeah. No, but he's a good fan of the podcast.
Yeah. And he is a good friend. All jokes aside.
He's a good friend. He's a good friend. Can't wait to travel. You know what? It's going to be funny because I can just envision.
We can't even say anything because he actually booked all of our flights for us.
Yeah,
he's by far the most responsible person we know.
I can just imagine he's like, "Oh, I'm going to save the podcast for the flight."
We're going to be sitting
and then he's going to turn over and he's going to look at us.
I know.
Like, he's going to be like, "You
we could
dirty
be like,
dogs."
Hey, Kalon, look to your right. And then we could be staring at him as he's listening to this.
Yeah, maybe.
But in real time.
But we'd have to sync it up so that we know. We have to start listening at the same time he's listening. Like, listen back to the podcast.
I'm going to sleep. I'm not going to
so that we'll be looking when he looks. Otherwise, he's going to look and it's just going to be like, you're going to have your mouth open, falling asleep with a Nintendo Switch in your hand.
So anyways,
I don't even know how we got on this topic. What were we talking about?
But we are traveling.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about we're taking a trip to see a friend of the show, Anthony.
Yes. So we're traveling to Fredericton, New Brunswick.
A city so nice, they don't even give you trips there on a Wheel of Fortune. I don't think.
To say we're excited is a bit of an overstatement. Because it's no Chicago and it's no New York, but
no, I would describe
it's the company you keep that.
Yeah, I would describe my feeling as I'm whelmed, not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed, just whelmed. Right?
I'm whelmed. That is funny. I'm excited to see Anthony. Like, that's the best part of the trip. There's nothing in Fredericton I care to see at all.
You know, I don't even know what's there. I've heard of Fredericton, right? So I Googled it.
I've heard of it?
Yeah, of course, right?
Well, it's a city in Canada.
I've
heard of Fredericton before. I mean, come on. It's like the biggest city in New Brunswick.
Dude, that ain't saying much.
It's not, but...
Because I Googled it, and I looked at Google Images, and I was like, that's it?
Yeah, I know. I've seen it, too. It's not much going on there.
But you know what? With the price of everything out here in, like, Ontario, I'd rather pack my bags, move out there.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's not true. I haven't been there yet, so I don't know.
It might be crap.
It might be.
He doesn't have too many good things to say about it usually, so...
Not really.
But yeah, that'll be fun. So I'm sure we'll have some type of stories
Yeah, we'll come back with
for next week. Oh, for episode 50.
Ooh.
Episode 50 Bonanza.
Yep, we should have something special planned, but we don't. We don't have anything planned at all.
We'll think about it. And we'll probably just end up doing a normal podcast.
That's what we usually do. What else? What else do we have on the docket to ramble about, Dan?
I think that was about it.
Holding the doors open. Yep. I don't really know if we had much else.
No? Sometimes it's a little shorter than others, you know?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it is. But it's quality over quantity now.
All killer.
On the ScruffCast.
All killer.
No filler.
No filler.
Which was a great album by Sum 41.
Like a burrito.
Yeah.
Like a nice solid burrito.
Yeah.
All killer, no filler. Get that cilantro out of there. I don't need to wasting my chew cycles. I want to get straight to the beans, straight to the beef or the chicken.
I don't need wasting my chew cycles.
Yo, I'm telling you, Kalon's listening to this podcast right now. He appreciated that. He appreciated it.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking with him because I saw him the other day, and he brought up a concept I talked about long ago to him, which was you can tell how much someone appreciates food by the look of their belly, right? Their gut.
Okay.
It's almost like a black belt, right? Like, so when you do martial arts, you have the color of your belt, right?
Yeah.
But when you appreciate food, you have the girth of the gut, right?
I also associate that with like drinking, because when I was a kid, my grandfather had like a beer belly.
Yeah.
And he always used to say like, "Oh, a lot of time and money went into this." Like, I was like, a lot of hard work went into this. Something like that, right?
Did a motion of patting the beer belly as he was saying
This is why we need the YouTube.
Yeah, I do think it would benefit, but then we got to worry about what we look like.
No, we don't. We look like
you say that because you're coming from church.
We're almost
so
wearing the same sweater right now. I just noticed that. Look, it's pretty close.
Pretty close. But you say that because you're coming from church, so you're all bougie and you're.
I literally have a pair of jeans on and a hoodie.
Yeah, I have a hoodie and a pair of sweatpants.
Well, normally I wear sweatpants, but I can't wear sweatpants to church.
You could.
I could.
Jesus would just condemn you to hell forever. Not a big deal.
Jesus be like, Dad, looking swaggy.
Looking swaggy. So nice, I'm going to pass the collection basket around twice. All right. I think that will do it for this week.
Yeah, that's about enough. We have to get to our question to ponder.
Are we still doing the hero and jabroni of the week?
No, that's done, by the way, everybody.
We're killing it? We're not even going to get it to episode 50?
No, I don't think so. Well, it's not like we started on episode 1.
If
we started episode 1, we could have made it to 50. But
that's true. That is true.
We started it like
I don't remember when we started.
If anybody really wants it, email us. And we'll keep it going. But that's it.
Where can they email us?
ScruffCast@gmail.com.
What if they want to tweet us?
You can find us at ScruffCast.
Wait, the ScruffCast is on Twitter as well?
We are.
Well, now you know how to find us.
And we're on Instagram. The ScruffCast.
The ScruffCast. We haven't posted anything in a while. Because we don't have anybody... no likes on those photos.
Nobody's liking them.
No, I don't like that. If we were doing Hero of the Week, which we're not, but if we were, I would just say, thanks to our buddy Kalon for rolling with the punches. Because we just roast him nonstop.
Yeah, right. We'll give Kalon Hero of the Week this week.
Ooh. But if this is like the final one, I feel like it carries too much weight. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, we don't want to give him the final.
Never mind.
We're keeping Hero of the Week.
We're keeping it? Okay, yeah, we got to do it for next week. All right. So who's the jabroni of the week? You know what?
Kalon.
The rare, I was going to say the rare double where you're both.
Yeah, he gets the hero and jabroni.
There you go.
Because you can't build them up too high,
No.
As high as you build them, you got to take them down a bit. Can't let his head get too big.
It's like the water level in like a hot tub, right? You can't get too acidic. You got to bring the pH level down.
That's right.
Right?
All right. Okay, so our question to ponder for next week is, if you could bring back one food item or snack back from your childhood, what would you choose?
This is a great question.
Yeah.
This was written to us by the listener who emailed us at the beginning. Just to give
I'm going to kind of alter it a little bit.
Yeah.
Can we go like food or beverage?
Sure.
Okay.
We can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. That's it? No more
Come on,
plugs?
listeners, especially you old listeners out there. I know you're out there. Write in, because your childhood snacks are going to be different.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I want back some old moon pie. Or whatever the hell
Or
was.
cigarettes or something like that.
I want that Lucky Strike. Okay, take it easy.
All right. Okay. That's the end of this. We will see you when we are back from the ever-exciting Fredericton, New Brunswick. Thanks for listening to... what do I...
Thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll catch you next week. That's what you normally say.
I don't think that's it. Anyway.
I think it is. I edit the end of the podcast every week. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week. That's what you say.
But I say the episode number, do I not?
Yeah, you normally say.
All right, okay, here we go. That's the end of episode 49 of the ScruffCast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
As I'm watching her go, all I'm thinking is, oh damn that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.
It was followed up by the Intel 8080, which didn't come out until 1979. Slightly modified chip with an external 8-bit data bus. It was notable because it was a processor used in the original IBM PC design and the widespread version, the IBM PC XT.